Since everybody's always, we have the Drew show, right? He's always complaining, and other people, they're like, we can't see when you're sharing your screen, kind of look a little blurry. The video coming from the laptop over here, it looks great. It's the video capture card that I have, so I need to upgrade that one. I need to get a better one, so we'll get higher resolution. So that's in the works too. Did you tweet out with Jeff?
I did.
All right, great. Go ahead and go in there and share it.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs Skins 5 will be on with us in about 10 minutes into the show.
10, 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get him up right now, make sure he's good to go. You know, he's always changing because he's always so busy. The time sometimes. Hey, good morning, Sam Salinas. Good morning, Mario Cavazos. Thanks for joining us. No Sohan today. Is that going to mean the Spurs win?
Bet the farm.
Oh, I saw that. They put Sith with Oscar the Grouch in the truck together. He's driving with Jeremy Sohan. I'm still here, Sohan. I bet you that Spurs Twitter Spaces is going to be going off tonight after the Spurs win.
It's funny because the question becomes, how good of a defender is Jeremy Sohan?
Look at already, Jeremy Sohan's out tonight. Good. Oh, God.
We already have people already coming into the stream. I love it.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your host as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio, formerly known as the Alamo City Sportscast. My name is Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. It is game day for the San Antonio Spurs, and today we have our good friend Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 joining us in about 10 minutes or so. We're talking Spurs. We're talking sports, pop culture. You know, Mike McCarthy. You know, the Bears want to interview him. Jerry Jones is like, nah, ain't going to happen. Not under our watch. You're with us till the 14th, not under our watch. We'll get into that. We'll get into the NFL playoffs a bit, some pop culture news. Dude, the Girl Scouts are going to discontinue 2 brands or 2 flavors.
Which ones?
Of the Girl Scouts. We'll get into that. But I also want to get into which is the best Girl Scout cookie because I'm a big fan of the Do-si-do.
Which one's that one?
That's the peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, okay, yeah. That one's good. You know, I like the Thin Mints, man.
The Thin Mints?
Thin Mints are always good. You put them in the fridge, dude, they just kind of snap.
Yeah.
You know, they're good like that.
But, I mean, wouldn't you want a York peppermint patty at that point?
No.
I mean, isn't that the real OG when it comes to it? By the way, the reason why I bring this up is because Girl Scout cookie season started yesterday. They're now for sale. So now I don't have the hookup, right? I don't have any kids that age anymore that are in the Girl Scouts. My kids were never in that, but they always had their friends that were in that. So now I'm going to have to rely on the girl that sets up shop at Walmart or H-E-B. H-E-B doesn't allow that. It's Walmart that allows it.
I see them sometimes set up over here at the Home Depot.
The Home Depot?
House.
Yeah. There's this girl that sets up like a table in my neighborhood, you know, as you drive by. But it's too damn cold to do it right now. It's 36 degrees right now at 10 a.m. here in San Antonio.
You're still wearing shorts.
Yeah, I've got that whole thing going on where I have the shorts and the hoodie. You know,
kind of like a mullet,
hoodie.
You know, business on the top.
Yeah, all party on the bottom.
Back.
Yeah. So I have that going. So I got into my car today. So I have a brand new truck. I have a Dodge Rebel that I got a few months ago. And It's the first time it's been really cold getting into the car. So I get into the car, and normally you freeze your ass off when you get into the truck. It's 35 degrees outside. You just freeze. Takes a while to warm up. Dude, I put in the heated seats and the heater on a brand new truck, Joe. I've never had a brand new vehicle. Like the last time I did, take that back, was back in the year 2000, right? I had a brand new car back then. This is the first time since that I've had a brand new anything. And that car warmed up, that truck warmed up 15 seconds, dude. Seat warmers, back warmer, good heat coming through. God, it was beautiful, Joe.
Yeah, that's just like my Caddy. We have the seat warmers in the Caddy. The thing that I like about the Cadillac too is that the steering wheel, it heats up also, so it keeps your hands warm.
Yeah. And here's the thing. My dogs are outside. Is that wrong? The sun's out.
It's a husky.
It's a husky
and a golden retriever.
What's too cold for a dog? I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but I brought them in last night. Obviously, one was in the kennel, one was in the restroom. They were nice and toasty inside, but at some point they got to go outside. They're dogs.
They got to do their business.
Yeah. So I have them outside right now. Then I get in the car and I look up and I see it's 36 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself, should I have left them outside for the next hour? Because that's what I did. They'd be outside for 2 hours, be 36. It'll be 45 by the time I get over there. They'll be fine.
They'll be all right.
What
do you say? What do you say?
They're just animals.
Peter's going to come for you, Mike.
Very nice. You can be part of the show by taking part on our YouTube stream, which is powered. The chat is powered by MCS General Contracting, our good friend Chris Leha, who, by the way, told me yesterday that they have those Yetis. They're going to get a new order of the Yetis. I got 2 of them. I placed an order for 2 of them yesterday. Not bad, man. The more that are ordered, the cheaper that it is. But MCS General Contracting does a fantastic job when it comes to concrete placement. We're talking about pickleball courts, tennis courts, slabs to homes, basketball courts. We're talking about, driveways. They did a bit. They did a sidewalk for me in the side of my house.
Yeah.
They took care of me. They did a fantastic job. MCS General Contracting, again, powers the chat, 210-774-9155. Now, again, you can be part of the show by leaving a comment or two. We see several names already out there. Sam Salinas, Garrett from the Netherlands is here. Chris Gonzalez, Mario Cavazos, a lot of our regulars, man. But yesterday, Joe, we had pretty good viewing numbers yesterday. The podcast is growing.
Yeah.
We picked up subscriber 2,080.
How about that?
Last night?
A year ago, Mike, we were like trying to sniff 1,000, right?
Yeah.
We went over 1,000. And then after we get over 1,000, maybe we'll hit 2,000 by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we did.
Yeah.
We went over that.
We're making it happen. And I think part of it is because, Joe, we have a good show.
Yeah,
Let's break it down, Joe. You and I have a very, very good show. We can go toe-to-toe on an entertainment value with anybody on San Antonio Sports Star, with anybody on Ticket 760. We can go toe-to-toe. Toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
We're also contrarians, which makes us both interesting to watch and also not upsetting a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
The person that we've upset a lot are people who are fans of the Dallas Cowboys, because they're like, what do you mean you're predicting a 7-10 record? And what happened, Joe? 7-10 record. What do you mean Jeremy Sohan is a liability? And now what are people doing? They're looking at it. The numbers are there, Joe. Spurs are 9-5 without Jeremy Sohan. And guess what? Tonight, without Jeremy Sohan, his back has flared up. He's 21 years old. Why is his back flaring up?
Hey, that's what happens when you're at the club all night, 2 hours before tip-off.
Maybe it was when he crashed his car on the median there on I-10 and 1604.
He's throwing them back, brother. He's throwing them back.
Jeremy Sohan should not have a flared up back. What's going on? What's going on?
It's the alcohol, bro. It's the alcohol talking.
He's got green hair, though.
Yeah,
he's got green hair.
But you know what? What did we say? We said in the beginning of the year, you have Wemby and a bunch of guys, right?
Right.
What does it look like? Wemby and a bunch of guys. You're right. Almost the halfway mark of the season. Spurs fans had delusions of grandeur. Oh, this team's going to make it. Puro pinche play, and here we come. We hooping.
Well, as of right now, Spurs have the 9th spot, tied with Golden State for that 9th spot in the Western Conference. But the thing is that the Spurs have a lot of road games coming up, right?
Exactly.
The Spurs have several road games in January, and then they go on the rodeo road trip where they're gone for 3 weeks. Where are they at? They're gone. Right? But I will say this about the Spurs. There's certain players that I've started to like and I now want on this team. You say it's Wemby and a bunch of dudes?
Just a bunch of guys. Toyota Corollas.
I will say that there are about 3 or 4 Toyota Corollas in there and one potential sports car. Okay. Potential sports car, Steph Castle.
Okay.
Who should be starting tonight when Sohan does not play. When Sohan plays, Stephon Castle's the 9th guy on the team.
Let's put you on the spot. What kind of car is Stephon Castle? Sports car?
Do you know what he is? He is one of those drifting cars that you keep on adding stuff to it.
Has a big wing on it.
Yeah, you're hoping that it's going to become something bigger and better. It's one of those things where it's a sports car. He is a sports car, okay? Yeah. But it's adding the engines to it. It's adding things to it.
Aftermarkets.
It's the aftermarkets you're trying to add to it to build up the value of it. I'm looking at the Spurs roster right now. We called Harrison Barnes a Toyota Corolla. I like Harrison Barnes out there.
He's a Toyota Corolla, bro.
You kind of know what you're going to get. Sometimes he'll have a good game. Like his good game and bad games are kind of even, right? Yeah. For the price point, I like Julian Champagny. He grew on me, Joe. I was so anti-Julian Champagny. I called him cardio for so long. Chris Gonzalez calling Champagny the pedometer. He grew on me, Joe.
I like this one for Midtown Texas. Wemby and the dudes.
No, let's call it Wemby Castle and the dudes. Yeah. Okay. So Champagny, Barnes, I like. Trey Jones, gone, dude. Keldon, I hate to say it, should be gone. Zach Collins, I would pay for him to leave. Bassie, I wouldn't mind having Bassie hanging around for a little while. Mamu, gone. The City Sissoko, gone.
Oh, God. Look at Swiss. Wemby is a Lamborghini. Everyone else is a Toyota Prius.
Yeah, exactly. These cars that need to be charged up, is what it is. We're going to have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 joining us in a moment talking about the Spurs. Cowboys making news, roughly in feathers right now. People are thinking what an embarrassment that team is. If they do not sign Mike McCarthy and let him twist in the wind for a week because they just don't want to give him the right to go and talk. Sources telling ESPN that Mike McCarthy was offered an interview with the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears said, "We want you." Okay. Yeah. Which was interesting because he was formerly the head coach of the Green Bay Packers in the same division as the Bears. Yeah. And the Packers have owned the Bears. And if Mike McCarthy goes over there, that'd be interesting.
Hey,
McCarthy's not a bad coach. Fact of the matter is that Cowboys let him go. He's going to be wanted. But this is the week where coaches get hired and fired. And we've seen 5 coaches get fired already. Mike McCarthy would be wanted at this point. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. Yeah. He may not have succeeded in Dallas, but he did have back-to-back 12-win seasons. He did take them to the playoffs. He did get a playoff victory. He's not a bad coach. He got done dirty by Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones went out there and provided him no free agents. Jerry Jones saddled him with Zeke Elliott as RB1. Mike McCarthy is not to blame for that. But again, as RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys points out, if they refuse to allow him to interview and other teams hire people in his place, and Jerry Jones is preventing Mike McCarthy from moving on with his career, that is a dick move. And that is a move that other coaches are going to see and be like, well, why would we ever want to coach there? Why would certain players want to go to Dallas if they see what Dallas is doing to their players? What does Dallas do? Do they extend their players out? No, they don't. They franchise tag them over and over and over again. Some people didn't mind it. Dak Prescott didn't mind it. But we're going to see that with Micah Parsons. Do you think Micah Parsons is going to get that big deal? No. Micah Parsons is going to be extended on a franchise tag repeatedly, and it's going to piss him off, and that's going to piss off potential free agents, big name free agents who may want to come to San Antonio or Dallas rather.
We're trying to get Jeff on the line here, man.
Well, what's going on, man? Is he on?
No, I'm trying to get him on. He called me right now, and I picked up the phone to answer, but then he didn't answer, so I don't know. He got another call or something else happened, so I'm texting back and forth.
Yeah, Tony Ornelas reached out to us on our YouTube stream talking about the Spurs, saying, let's talk if Mitch Johnson should be replaced. Bulls game should be on him. It's interesting. The Spurs had a 19-point lead. They lose that lead. And it's one of those things that when teams win, the players get the glory. When teams lose, oftentimes it's the coaches that get blamed. Mitch Johnson coached that game as though he was Pop. And I'm not a big fan of Pop coaching these days, right? I hope he's better from his stroke and all that stuff. I hope he's recovering well. But that game was coached as though Greg Popovich was pulling the strings and calling the shots.
Yeah, we do have somebody on the line right now.
Who do we got?
You know who we got. The one and only Jeff Garcia.
Moneybags?
We got to bring him in proper, though.
Moneybags.
Are we ready? Here we go.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar. Moneybags himself, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 joins us right now. Jeff, how you doing today, man? Are you keeping warm?
Oh, this is nothing for me, buddy. This is nothing. This is like I'm out on my patio right now, just shorts and a tank top, just hanging out, enjoying this cold weather.
Oh,
by the way, Joe, hey, Joe, it wouldn't be a call, right, without tech issues?
Oh, yeah. Without a tech issue, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Jeff Garcia lived in New York City for quite some time. So,
20 years.
He's used to the cold weather, man. He's used to the cold weather. But, Jeff, we're talking about the Spurs. No Sohan tonight. Spurs right now, number 9 in the West with an 18-18 record. Interestingly enough, Spurs have won 9 games with Jeremy Sohan. They've won 9 games without Jeremy Sohan. The thing is that they're 9-5 without him, 9-13 with him. Dude, do we just bet the farm that the Spurs are going to go into Milwaukee tonight and beat up on the Bucks?
No, I wouldn't go that far. Not yet. But it should be a good game, though, nevertheless. Vegas has the Bucks by 5, so they're anticipating a close game. Should be good. You know what I'm hoping? That they come in just pissed off. The way they lost that last game to Chicago was just heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. To be just thrashing them for what, 3.5 quarters?
Yeah.
About 3 quarters. And then to just see the wheels come off in that fourth quarter. It's interesting. Harrison Barnes said after the game, he goes, you can look at the fourth quarter. You can even look at the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. He says, no, the issues probably happened in the third quarter. He goes, that's where everything fell apart. I think I mentioned this to Joe one time on Lockdown. I asked you, Jimenez, since you've been away from Lockdown for a while. I have the receipts, everybody. I've been trying to get him back on.
He big timed you, right, Jeff?
Big time, man. Big time. Jimenez, do you think they were popping their collar too much in that game? Like, we're the big bad Spurs. Look at us. We're just beating up on these Bulls. It felt like they were just feeding themselves.
Yeah, the Spurs got up by 19 points, and Chris Paul was having himself a game. It seemed like he was toying with the other team. And it almost seemed as though they took their foot off the gas. I don't know how other way to explain it is that they took their foot off the gas and they let the other team catch up. And I was puzzled by some of the decisions made down the stretch. Devin Vassell's decision making was awful in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Sohan being out there, proving once again that he's a liability in crunch time matters. Crunch time games, last minute, close games. He's a liability. It is what it is. And what was weird, Jeff, was that at the end of the game, Spurs Twitter gets together. Our good friend Matt Lerma has a Twitter space, which is brought to you by the Alamo City Podcast Network.
Formerly Alamo City. Now it's Area 210.
Now it's Area 210.
Yeah. Don't worry, Jimenez. I do the same thing on Los when Joe's come on. I'm still used to calling it 2 shots. 2 shots, man. That's how far I go back with Joe.
Yeah.
So people were on that podcast, on that Twitter space, just railing on Sohan. Do you get the feeling that the shine is starting to come off on Sohan? That some Spurs fans, I don't want to say the word turn on him, but are now keeping a close eye on whether or not he's actually a good or bad thing for the Spurs?
You know what it feels like, even every year there's always a whipping boy. Every year. This year it seems to be him and Collins. You go further back, to just pick a season. There's always that whipping boy, and I think this year it's him. I get both sides of the argument. The liability on offense, the inability to spread the floor. But then on the other side, I get it. He's a decent defender.
Wait.
I said decent. I said decent, young
Not
man.
elite.
I said decent.
Not
Okay,
elite.
I said decent.
no. So here's the
I
thing.
said decent.
I know,
I
and
said decent.
I agree. I agree, Jeff.
He's all right.
I agree. Here's the thing. I think Spurs fans embrace certain players as fan favorites. And because they have their black and silver goggles on,
Now he has green hair.
they don't want to see what's there.
They always do. Every year, Jimenez, they always have their black and silver.
And the thing is that I get called a jerk or you're not a fan, you're a Rockets fan.
Oh no, you don't know ball.
I don't know ball, right? I'm not, I don't know that because I'm showing you from when I watch a game, I watch it from a perspective because I think it's because I'm a basketball official. I watch it from a different perspective. And I'm looking at him and I saw the deficiencies early on. Everyone kept on telling me he's a lockdown defender. Like, since when?
No, he was elite.
He had one good game against Luka Doncic, and that was early in his career, and he's been riding that forever. Is he an above-average defender? Yes. Is he a good defender? Yes. Is he locked down? No. He ain't Kawhi Leonard. He's not Bruce Bowen.
He's
so
all right.
stop it. So now Spurs fans are looking and are going, well, now they've gone from he's elite to, well, he's a decent, he's good. And when it comes to offense, it's been like, oh, well, he'll develop the game. That the whole point guard experiment was good. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? All he does is do putbacks and dunks. That's all he does. And Spurs fans are starting to understand that. And when I post on there, Jeff, the sample size gets bigger, Jeff. The sample size gets bigger. 9-5 without Jeremy Sohan in the lineup. And if they win tonight against Giannis and the Bucks and they go 10-5, the rumblings are going to get louder, Jeff. True or false?
Yeah. No, they will. I think Spurs fans are just going to really start digging deeper into his impact, if at all. But I think he's still a good player. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. I'm not going to say he's going to make all NBA third team, anything like that. And he's just a good player. And he's a good puzzle piece for this rebuild. I mean, I'm not saying he's a cornerstone. He's just a good piece to add alongside Castle and Wemby and whoever they pair up next with him, whether it be free agency or the draft. He's just a good player. If anything, he's also a good player to dangle if you're going to do a trade. I'm good either way. If he stays with the Spurs, great. He gives you some defense. He gives you some offense. One thing he does bring that I think needs to be focused more, just more dog. If anything, not X's and O's. It's not a stats thing, just dog. Because look what Chris Paul, Mitch Johnson, and even Harrison Barnes said after the loss to Chicago. In so many ways, they were saying this team doesn't have any dog in them.
They're saying they're soft,
At all.
Jeff. They called them soft.
They basically were saying that. Look at what Chris Paul said. Actually, I think I have a quote here. He pretty much alluded to team lacks grit. We know what that means.
Yeah.
Soft.
Soft.
Yeah. And did we see?
So I appreciate that.
Did we see Wemby go after Mitch Johnson in the post-game interview? Because a lot of people are taking snippets of that interview.
Yeah. I rewatched it. I'm on the fence. I got to keep on listening over and over again. I don't see the angle, but what am I missing here?
I think when Wemby says we didn't make adjustments, and he's
calling out the coaches.
Who's supposed to make adjustments? When you hear the word adjustment, means coaching staff.
Coach Johnson.
So I think that was a veiled shot at Mitch Johnson.
How long did he wait to put Wemby in? He put Wemby in what? When there was
5.5 minutes to go in the game. Yeah, he should have put him in around the 7-8 minute mark.
Too late.
He's 21 years old. You rest his ass for 3 or 4 minutes and put him back in. Especially if you see the lead dwindling, especially if you see the crowd getting going. Mitch Johnson, when he first was coaching this team, Jeff, I felt like he was doing his own thing. Like he was freelancing and he was putting in his own analytics involved. Dude, the last 4 or 5 games, it smells and feels like Pop has his thumb on everything, dude. I don't know if that's true or false. I have no data when it comes to it, but it feels like Pop coaching this team. Steph Castle, who did so well when he was replacing Devin Vassell in the lineup when Vassell was hurt. Now the 9th guy on the team, the 10th guy sometimes on the team, fifth guy coming off the bench. There's something amiss here, and it feels like Pop. It feels and smells and tastes like a Pop coaching tree again, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off.
Also too, look, for all intents and purposes, Mitch is a rookie coach. That's what he is, and he's gonna make his mistakes just like a rookie NBA player would, or any rookie in any field, job. In the financial world that you're in, Jimenez, everybody's gonna make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to understand that he was just thrusted into this position, due to an unfortunate circumstance for Pop. So I do give him a little bit of slack, but at the same time, he is the head coach, so the buck stops with him when it comes to making calls. So it's kind of a delicate balance with that as well. But
yeah,
I understand, the Spurs fans gripe with Sohan because I get upset too. I mean, why are you kicking out the ball to him at the 3 line?
Exactly.
What are you doing? What are you doing? But at the same time, okay, well, at least he's giving you some defense. Okay, there's that. Okay, he's giving you some hustle stuff. Okay, that's fine. But it's funny. You look at some of the numbers here. According to the numbers, he rebounds averages more than 87% of players in the league. His offensive rebounds is more than 87% of players in the NBA. His defensive rebound is more than 72% of players across the NBA. So he brings some value to the team. So
let me ask you a question, Jeff. So Spurs fans, they get enamored with Jeremy Sohan, right? And you're reading off some of the accolades there. But has he ever been named to the NBA All-Defensive Team?
No.
He's just a dude. At the end of the day, he's just a guy.
That's what I said earlier. I was
he's a role
pretty
player.
much saying that
Yeah.
he's just a good piece to a rebuilding team. I'm saying he is the corner piece or a building block. He's just a really good piece. That's all.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, Spurs got him number 9 in the draft and back in 2022. So I think Spurs fans got excited because he was a lottery pick. I think the expectations may have been put too high. So we did have a comment a few seconds ago from Chris Leha of MCS General Contracting. And he basically said that he believes that Sohan should go back to the bench.
Yeah, he's just
and I tweeted this the other day that I missed the lineup of CP3, Castle, Champagne, Barnes, and Wemby.
I'm glad you brought that up because for today's Lockdown Sports, we talked about that. And I said, why did they go and fix something that didn't need to be fixed? That starting unit was tops in the NBA. And then you kind of threw off the rhythm of it, the flow of it, by doing a lineup change.
Yeah, there's
35 change.
There's Leha's comment. So. It's laden with profanity, but
yeah, I saw that. But he also was talking about how he hates Zach Collins, and I think all Spurs fans would all like to pitch in at least $4 to $5 to get Zach Collins on a plane and out of San Antonio.
I didn't give him the nickname Booty Crumbs for no reason,
dude.
Mike.
And I'm about to say
and you know what, too? Like, what happened to Malachi Branham? Does he play anymore?
I thought I saw him the other day, but it was actually
like in garbage time, right? Wasn't it in garbage time against the Clippers when they were just stomping them?
Exactly.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Tony O'Neill coming out saying on our YouTube stream that Stephon Castle needs to start. Dude, Stephon Castle was just 3 weeks ago the Vegas favorite to win Rookie of the Year. He was starting, playing 28 to 31 minutes per game, playing well, maybe not shooting the 3 very well, but was a facilitator, was bringing the ball up, he's a hell of a perimeter defensive player. I saw a stat the other day that said that when it comes to guarding perimeter players on 3-point shots, that he's like in the top 6 in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put him to the bench. That's a Pop move, man. That's a Pop move. So disappointed that was done. Now, I'm not saying that Pop made that decision from the phone, but what I am saying is that looks and smells like a Pop move. And I honestly believe that the Spurs have an incentive for him not to win Rookie of the Year, because at some point the bill comes due. And when it comes time to re-signing him, they're going to be like, hey, well, he was Rookie of the Year, right? That's got to be worth something.
Doesn't Rookie of the Year come with the bonus or something if you get it?
There's something that goes along with it.
He's going to Jerry Jones him, just like they did, old boy.
Yeah, like Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush had a bonus if he played one down.
He's like, nah.
And Jerry's like, nah, you're going to sit today. Mike McCarthy, nah, you're going to write out your contract for one more week. That's what it feels like, man. And, all this talk right now about the Spurs going off and getting a big name. You hear the names of like Jimmy Butler and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think the Spurs right now are buyers or sellers with a 18-18 record right now going into February? The deadline is going to be right before the All-Star break.
I think they like the team they have. I really do. I think they're just going to stay pat and look at the waiver wire. I don't see them making I don't see them making a big move, like a Jimmy Butler, to that level. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
You know what's going to be so funny, Jeff, is the day that Wemby asks for a trade. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year. I'm not saying it's going to happen next year. But when he resigns for his Supermax deal for the Spurs, because the Spurs are the only team that's going to be allowed to do that, he's going to be a restricted free agent, so they're going to sign him to Supermax anyway. There's going to be a time when we're going to look back at this and ask the question, what did Brian Wright do?
Yeah.
Other than just get picks.
And look at this.
Because you know what? Do you know how many points per game picks average? Nothing. You know how many rebounds per game? Nothing. Picks don't do anything. You need players, and you need players now. Wemby's ahead of schedule. Right. And we saw that from the get-go last season, starting in January, when he took the soul and life out of Chet Holmgren on that one block, and he became an all NBA type of player. We saw that he was ahead of schedule, right? Spurs can't treat Wemby like a 10-year project. They can't, man, because he's a superstar. And superstars want to win, and superstars want to play with good players. And I'm sorry. Look at Giannis. What did they get Giannis? They got Giannis. At least they got Giannis Dame.
Well, Giannis is he comes as a package deal. You got to bring a brother along with him.
Yeah, but Thanos I think was let go earlier this year. Right now the Bucks coming in. Bucks beat Toronto in their last game, but they've lost 4 of the last 6 games. Yeah, we see Wemby kind of get up for the big name players, right? He did it for Jokic in those back-to-back games. Had a 20-20 game and had a 37-point game, I believe. When they won out there in Denver. Do you believe, again, we see the stats with Sohan, without Sohan, he averages 28 points per game. He's an all NBA first team type player without him.
Yeah, we got to get to the super chat.
Are you excited about, do you think that he's going to have a big night tonight? Because
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you because y'all talked over each other. What happened?
No. I said I got to get to the super chat that came in from Chris Leha because I'm getting bad logged in the chat here. So thank you, Chris Leha, for the $9.99 super chat. He says, for the swear jar, laugh out loud. He says, also trade all the picks. Trade everyone.
Trade all the picks. Jeff, tonight, big game from Wemby up ahead, isn't it? It's gonna be like a 28 and 18 game, right? I already feel it. They're gonna play him down low.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Give me your stat line prediction for Victor Wembanyama tonight.
Oh, I think he's gonna go high 20s and double figure rebounds. So like a 20-20 game again. You got Giannis is gonna be there. Brook Lopez, he'd be a problem. He's having a pretty good season this year. So I'm liking a 20-20 game out of Wemby. But collectively, guys, I just want them to come out pissed off. I know what this team can do X's and O's wise. I get that. We have a more than enough sample size to know what this team is by now. The last thing they need, I think, to put it all together is just play a complete game.
Do you know what?
The last time they did that was against the Clippers, but the Clippers didn't even show up to San Antonio. I was at that game. They didn't even get off the plane, I think.
Jeff, you know what I find interesting about Wemby whenever Sohan's not there? We saw them play the Nuggets back-to-back games, right? Won one in Denver, lost the one in San Antonio. When Sohan was not there because he hurt his back and he did not play on January 3rd, Wemby shot the ball 22 times, of which 16 were 2-pointers and 6 were 3-pointers. So he was inside. Sohan comes back, same team, 24 hours later, shot the ball 19 times, but it was flipped. 12 3-pointers, 7 2-point shots. When Sohan is not there, Wemby's forced to play down low. And Wemby is forced to have a more balanced offensive attack. That's why I like it when Sohan's not there.
So the Spurs kryptonite is
not there. You're talking about in the starting unit, right?
Well, honestly,
because we only have a 3-game sample size of what he can do off the bench for 3 games. That's it. He's only been off the bench 3 times this year. He has 19 starts, 3 benches.
And, right, but let's just say that him not being there, because we have a 14-game sample size of that, right? We have a 14-game sample size, and Wemby missed 3 of those games, so we only have an 11-game sample size of Wemby without him. Spurs won 2 of the 3 games when Wemby and Sohan were both out. But what I'm saying is that look how they use Wemby when Sohan's not playing. They force him to play the 5. They force him to play down low, and he starts playing big boy basketball down low, and he diversifies what he's doing. He's doing a lot more 2-point attempts as opposed to 3, and you have to he plays differently. He plays a different position. Sohan comes back, and all of a sudden, all Wemby's doing is just chunking up 3s, and it's different. It's so weird.
But and they have a point here in the chat too, because we're always focusing on Sohan. But at the end of the day, the focus should also be on the supporting cast, not just on Sohan, not just on Vassell, but what the rest of the players are doing on a consistent basis. And the thing is that you really don't have the firepower currently on this team to contend with some of these better teams in the West. The Spurs just can't compete on that level. They don't have shooters. They need shooters. They need guys that can shoot the ball. Wild philosophy here. Get a guy that can shoot a 3. They can't do that. Really, you look at the guys that they have here, and they're all right. I mean, Champagny, he's been money from beyond the arc, but the rest of the cast, I mean, Spurs aren't really known for the 3-point prowess, right, Jeff?
Yeah. Well, I want to just add a little bit more to the pile here. So we were talking earlier about that starting unit to start the season, the Champagny, Barnes, Paul, Castle, Wemby. So I looked up some of the numbers here. That unit, it's still tops among the Spurs best 5-man units.
Wait, say that again. What was the 5 again?
So the original to start the season: Champagny, Barnes, Paul, Castle, and Wemby. That one is still heads of the class among the Spurs starting 5 unit. They played 152 minutes together. They've netted a plus 61. So I said, well, it's been a while since we've seen the change in that unit. What's the next best 5-man unit? It's Barnes, Paul, Wemby, Sohan, and Vassell. 134 minutes together, they're a plus 41. So there's something there that I think maybe the Spurs see.
All right, talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Last night, courtesy of NBA TV, Trae Young with the Heroics.
Oh, man.
That pick is looking worse and worse by the day. I know they had lost 3 in a row, but we're going to show this on NBA TV. The Jazz just tied it with a 3-pointer to make it 121 apiece. 2.9 seconds to go. From beyond the midcourt line.
Boom! Money, man.
Trae Young, money.
Crazy.
To win the game. Yeah, remember when Spurs fans didn't want to trade for this guy? Remember when we were told that Atlanta pick was going to be a top 5 pick?
Can you believe that?
Can you believe that? No, I can't. I started looking at NBA Tankathon to see where the Spurs are drafting. Dude, that's why the picks don't matter, Jeff. Mm-hmm. That's why the picks don't matter. Is because we were told, we got that Charlotte first-round draft pick. Guess what it's going to be, Jeff? It's not going to convey as a first rounder this year. It's going to turn into 2 meaningless second rounders because it never conveyed because it was so highly protected. That Chicago pick may or may not happen. Right now, they're kind of sitting there with the 10th worst pick in the draft. And guess what? It's top 10 protected. The Bulls are 17 and 19 right now. That Atlanta pick would be number 15, not 5, 15. If the season was to end right now, the Spurs are picking 13 and 15. 13 and 15.
Man.
What were we promised?
But I thought this draft was deep, though.
Yeah, it's deep, but that doesn't mean that you in a deep draft, you want to be as close up to the front as possible.
Sure.
Because if you're in a deep draft and you're picking at 15, you're getting a player that you would normally get at 9. Who did we get at 9 last time? Jeremy Sohan.
Different draft class, but go ahead.
Who did we get at 11? We got Devin Vassell at 11. We got Josh Primo at 11 or 12. The best players go 1 through 10. I know Giannis went 15 and Kawhi Leonard went like 15. And we can all say Nikola Jokic went 37, right? We can all say that. But if you look at the NBA and you look at the best players in the league, they all typically went 1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, we'll see what this word. Hey, look, I've been saying it. I think Brian Wright in the front office, they're on the clock this offseason. This is it. You're more than ready to make a splash, whether it's moving up the draft, trading away picks, trading players. You do something.
Well, why do
and I
they have
think-
to wait for the draft though, Jeff? Couldn't they go ahead and go and get Darion Fox?
Oh, they can do it now.
De'Aaron Fox. Okay, so
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, like, if they wait until the off season, then they're
Yeah.
in the they're in the hot seat.
But what has the last couple seasons shown us in the offseason? A lot of these teams, they lock in their guy right away if they can't make a deal that works for both sides. In the regular season, you're entertaining offers, or even in the
And
offseason.
that's why you
Yeah,
that's why you got to wait till after the trade deadline, after the waiver wire period, because then you'll likely see teams do the extensions to even the free agent pool players that we're going to see in the offseason.
Jeff, do you believe that
So-
De'Aaron Fox is a name that people don't think is good? Spurs fans don't think is good
No,
because
he's
he
good.
plays in a small market. Like I've always been like,
say that one more time.
do you think that Spurs fans are underplaying De'Aaron Fox's abilities because he plays in a small market and they don't know who he is? This is a guy
No,
averaging
I don't.
27
Yeah, I
points.
don't think so. I mean,
27
I know
points.
he's a good player.
27, dude. If you had a player on the Knicks averaging 27 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds, even on a 500 team, he'd be a superstar. But De'Aaron Fox is doing this in Sacramento, and I think that that's the reason why Spurs fans look at De'Aaron Fox and go, "Oh, you can't give up the farm for him.
why?
Guy's a good player, man."
You got a bunch of guys on here, man. You're gonna miss him.
Now he may not have as long of a. He was the number. De'Aaron Fox has been in the league for 7 years. You get a veteran player who's the number 5 pick in the draft. Again, good
All-star.
players go in the top 7.
Yeah.
Former All-Star.
Pair him alongside Wemby. You got a 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, man. I think they should just bet the farm on that. What's Keldon's name gone? What's his name gonna be next year? Gone.
Gone.
Vassell, gone. Get him out of here.
Just get him out.
Sohan, gone.
Do something. And all the Spurs fans come out and say, well, we have cap space. Dude, that cap space, dude, the day that the Spurs extend Sohan to a 4-year, 120 deal is the day that I'm just going to just like throw something at the wall. Because that's what's going to happen. That's kind of the going rate. It's a restricted free agent at the end of his contract. And someone's going to give him that money. And people think are like, oh, well, we just re-signed him for, he's worth 15 and 19 million. Dude, if Zach Collins is worth 19, Sohan is a starter. He's got to be worth more than that, right? In the open market. And the Spurs, and all this promises of, oh, well, we have this cap space. If they're just using the cap space like they've done the last 3 or 4 years to re-up Trey Jones, to re-up Devin Vassell, to re-up Zach Collins, they're not using the cap space for anything other than to keep their own players. Mitch Johnson, I don't know if he's on the clock or not.
No, he is. I think he is. He
but Brian
really is on the clock.
And Brian Wright, dude, just do something, man. Do something with those
I think
picks.
Mitch, whether because if Pop comes back or not, he has to prove that he's ready for the big time, the big seat.
Pop ain't coming back, man.
No, I just said if he does come back, and even if he comes back, just say adios, I'm out. Same thing with Brian Wright. He's on the clock. You got a budding megastar with Wemby, probably already a megastar, and a fan base that's itching for this team to go back to the promised land. You want to build a team that's going to attract free agents. Maybe Wemby will change that history with the Spurs. I think he will, but you got to show not just your team, but other free agents and other teams that you're willing to wheel and deal, that you're willing to put together a team. Unless Jimenez, they're going to go this route. Remember the whole built, not bought route? That means going to the draft and waiting for player development.
And that is going to lead to nothing. CBS Sports released an article. Sam Quinn was the author of this article, saying the 3 places he sees Jimmy Butler going to. He said the number 1 spot for Jimmy Butler, in his opinion, is the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Saying that could put them over the top and make them a top-tier team in the West. That Memphis has the talent that Miami would want. Number 2, he has the Sacramento Kings. And the Sacramento Kings could offer De'Aaron Fox maybe as a potential trade partner for Jimmy Butler, and then they get a big name. Number 3, saying the San Antonio Spurs could be a destination for Jimmy Butler because, again, the Spurs right now, the 9 seed as of right now in the Western Conference. And it says that the Spurs have several long-term pieces that could match salaries. And they say, for instance, a trade of Keldon Johnson, Harrison Barnes, and Blake Wesley for a Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler would be kind of a rental. But Jeff, what are your thoughts on that?
You just said it right there, the rental aspect of it. I don't think the Spurs are interested in that. Because what's a rental going to do for you this year? Nothing really.
True, but I mean that's
nothing really.
That's just how it's played.
At all.
I mean, the whole Tim, Tony, Manu thing of them being together for a decade and all that stuff, doesn't happen anymore. That's so history. It's ancient history. Got to go get some players for Wemby right now.
He wants to win now, man.
If I pick the 2, then I'm going to go with De'Aaron Fox.
I agree.
I think that's a great get right there. I think the Spurs need to bet the farm and go get this young man right now in the prime of his basketball career. Yeah. He would really pair good with Wemby.
He really would. Tim Gonzalez comes out and says Spurs should hire Jeff Garcia as the GM. I don't know, man. I think Jeff is too enamored with second-round draft picks.
You know, if they hire Jeff
Where do you
every
get that
time.
from?
I just play.
Can you imagine if every time they show a picture of Jeff, he's the Spurs GM, and he's in the arena, right? And every time they show him, you got to do the dark.
Oh, the Darkwing. Yeah, the Darkwing. Yeah,
the Darkwing. But you got to play the intro music for Jeff if he's the GM.
Yeah, James Molina reaches out to us on our YouTube stream and says that Sohan doesn't bother him because he plays defense. Says Keldon can't guard a cone.
Neither can Zach Collins.
Zach Collins can't.
Yeah. I'm not on the get rid of Sohan. 100% train. There, like I said, there is some value to him, and I just mentioned one of them right now. He seems to be fitting well with that second best 5-man unit with the Spurs.
I'm not saying to get rid of him, but it's just that when he gets hurt, what do I say, Joe?
Good.
You know what I say, Jimenez? I say it's time to cook him.
Every time Jimenez sees Jeremy Sohan on the injured list. Good.
Dude, where was that from? Oh, that was
Brett Favre.
That was from Brett Favre. Jeff, do you remember that whole thing about me saying good?
No, I don't remember where that came from.
Okay, so there was an article about how Brett Favre came down with some sort of
Parkinson's.
He came down with Parkinson's disease, and Joe was there going, "Hey, we have some breaking news coming into the podcast." ESPN's reporting that Brett Favre is diagnosed with Parkinson's, and my response was, Good.
Good Lord, Jimenez.
Guy stole millions of dollars from poor people.
Man.
Good. Karma's a bitch.
Oh, that was good. That was one of Jimenez's best hot takes I've ever seen.
I remember Leja and Fernandez were like rolling on that one. They were like, they were so proud. Yeah. Because it wasn't something that I knew. I had not heard the story before, but that was like my gut reaction was to be like, good.
Not even pobrecito. No, good.
there was no thoughts and prayers to it all.
Hey, so we're gonna play a game with you, Jeff. So we did this earlier in the week, right? And it's been kind of sticking for this week. So we're kind of going with the Spurs starting 5, right? And we're comparing them to cars.
Ooh,
right? So I kind of started this game because I said Harrison Barnes is a Toyota Corolla. It's not flashy, but he just gets the job done.
He's reliable.
So we're saying what kind of car would Jeremy Sohan be, Devin Vassell, Wemby,
So we have
CP3.
We have CP3 as like a classic muscle car, like a 68 Mustang.
Yeah. For sure.
We had Wemby as a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
We had the Corolla for Barnes. We said that Vassell was a BMW that breaks down a lot.
Yeah. Expensive to repair.
And then we also had Sohan as a Dodge Charger.
Okay, I can see that. Or maybe we should say a wrecked Ferrari.
Oh, wow. For those, if you know, we had Zach Collins, according to Midtown Texas, saying that Zach Collins is a Tesla with two flat tires and no charge.
No charge. God, man.
Do you have a car comparison for any Spur, Jeff?
Let me think here. That's a fun one here. What did you call Barnes again?
We call
Toyota
Barnes
Corolla.
Toyota Corolla.
That's reliable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is a good one. You know what? I will call a Bastia lowrider because he can get up.
Now, is it the lowrider with the horn that goes?
It's the one that shoots up in the air like the ones you see on Military Drive Sunday night. The ones that just pop up and
You're
down.
touching my switches, You're pushing the switches in the car. Goes all the way up and everything bounces everywhere. All right.
Jeff, let's switch gears a little bit. Did you know that yesterday was the start of Girl Scout cookie season?
No, did not know.
Okay, so do you have a hookup when it comes to Girl Scout cookies? Do you like Girl Scout cookies? And if so,
drugs?
What is your favorite flavor of Girl Scout cookie?
Like you're looking for drugs. Like you have a hookup?
Well,
are they really that hard to get or what?
Well, I mean, usually, when you have kids, you get bombarded with like the friends or if your kid is not doing them themselves, they have friends in school, and normally you get hunted down by like 10 different people. Well, my daughters have gotten older. One graduate from LSU, now working at KSAT 12, and then you have my youngest one who's now kind of aged out of that age group. So I don't have the hookup anymore. I gotta go to like Walmart and find somebody who's selling the
just go to Walmart then.
The Girl Scout cookies. But let me ask you this: the top 4 flavors out there are Thin Mints, which is the chocolate minty one, right?
Yeah.
The Samoas, which is chocolate and coconut.
Yeah, I hate coconut, dude.
The Tagalogs, which is like a peanut butter cookie.
Yeah.
And the Do-si-dos, which is also a peanut butter cookie as well.
You know what? The Girl Scouts had a cookie years back that was elite. They discontinued it, but it was like a peanut butter cookie that had like freaking cranberries and almonds in it. Man, that thing was good, dude.
Really?
That was so
I don't
good.
remember that one.
Probably too much to make, but
it was good.
We asked the question on our social media, on Twitter, and right now Thin Mints are leading with 48%.
Telling you, man.
And
Yeah,
everyone's
they're
saying
good.
you got to put them in the fridge or the freezer.
Jeff, you know what's going to happen? You know how I like the story that you shared with us one time? The one I shared with me and you talking when you were during COVID and just like, snacks were going out, right? Everybody was eating their COVID snacks and you ate the whole sleeve of crackers, right?
Oh, yeah. I want to tell you the whole sleeve of crackers.
The whole sleeve of
just
crackers.
The whole thing. I was like, man, that was a bad idea.
Can you imagine, Jeff, if we gave you like the Thin Mints, right? And you just like, you're supposed to pick a couple, right, throughout the day. But if it's right in front of you, you can't stop, bro.
You can't stop, man. They're so good. It's like, give me another one. Yeah, I got room for another one. Give me another one.
Well, fellas, the Girl Scouts are discontinuing 2 flavors after this year. So this is the last year you can get the Toast Yay, which, by the way, is also their lowest selling one. But they're getting rid of one of their mid-range ones, okay? They have like 10 different flavors. The one that was like number 6, they're getting rid of as well, which is s'mores. The Girl Scout s'mores cookies will be no more at the end of this year. I'm a big fan of the Do-si-do, the peanut butter. I think it's amazing. You dunk it in some milk. Wonderful. Now, we do have some people reaching out to us on our YouTube stream.
This is a good one here.
Tex-Mex Frank asking the question, does Mike order Girl Scout cookies by saying, I want the Lululemons?
You know what? That could be a collab flavor. Just like a lemon flavor one. That'd be a good one. That'd be the Jimenez special.
They were asking you, Jeff, in the chat here earlier, because Mike's a big fan of Lululemon, right?
Lululemon for men. Well, dude, okay, first of all, I'm a fan for Lululemon I'm not going to say for women, for my girl. My girl looks good, Lululemon.
But your shirts, you like the shirts and the pants.
But she would take, so my girl, she does yoga. Right, she does yoga 3-4 times a week. Right, she does hot works and yoga, Pilates, stuff like that. Lucky me. And then she works out and she likes wearing Lululemons. A lot of women wear Lululemons because they say it's comfortable. But she's legit. She legit does Pilates and yoga. Right, she looks great in them. So she takes me to the store because she's like addicted to them. Right, she's addicted to that brand. Well, they have a men's section there. She goes, well, there's a men's section. It's a small section. It's maybe a third of the store, a quarter of the store. And she started buying me some stuff from there. And some of it's clearance rack or whatever the case may be. And I had been wearing it on the show, and no one knew the difference. And I asked Joe, I was like, Joe, what do you think of this polo? And he's feeling it up, and he's like, oh man, this feels pretty good. It's a nice good shirt.
He was feeling you up.
Pause.
No, Mike goes and gives me the corner of his shirt. He goes, hey man, feel the Lululemons. It's like, hey, it does feel pretty good, man. The fabric, you know?
Yeah. And then I said, what brand is this? And I showed him the tag, and it says Lululemon on it. So Jeff, are you for or against Lululemon gear? Do you own any Lululemon gear? And if not, would you be supportive of someone getting one for you?
No, I do not like it. I don't own a piece of Lululemon, and the only sportswear that I usually go to are my go-tos, which is Under Armour Project Rock line by Dwayne Johnson, or Dark Sports.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you on this. I would never wear their stuff for working out.
Yeah.
The shorts, like if you're going to go jogging, fine. But like their Lululemon for men workout gear, would never do it. Okay?
No, not at all.
But the dress up clothes, the polos,
the dress up clothes,
the polos,
no, I wouldn't wear it. No,
the hoodies, the polos, the
Nah.
rain jackets, dude, they're solid, dude.
I bet you we just gave one to Jeff and not even tell him what brand it is.
He wouldn't.
Oh no, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Hey, this is pretty nice, man. I like it.
I wouldn't know. I the moment I see that little, what is it, like a infinity sign, or what's their logo?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
an infinity sign, something like that. I was like, yep, I know what that is.
They don't have that on the men's clothes.
Yes, they do. No, I thought they did.
No, they don't. It's just clothes. They don't have the
just clothes.
They don't have the Lululemon. What's it called?
The logo
on anything. They have something on the shoulder, but it's not the infinity one. It's like a different logo.
No,
it's
I wouldn't
good.
know. I don't know nothing Lululemon, dude.
But you know what? It's good stuff.
Get yourself a man's workout clothes.
I don't have.
What's that workout gear
you
you wear, Jeff? That's like legit.
Dark Sports or Project Rock.
There you go.
Okay, I wouldn't mind getting that. That's perfectly fine. I just work out and hear me out here. T-shirt and shorts. Okay.
No, I've seen you work out in t-shirt and shorts. Yeah, you work out with me.
Under Armour, Nike. That's what I normally work out in, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm going to go for a run, like I'm going to go for a jog or a long distance, you need to have runner shorts for that. Okay.
You get shaved.
You get shaved and all that stuff. That's where Lululemon comes back in.
Rosal.
I'm proud. But you know what? Spernandez, United States Marine Corps.
He wears Lululemon.
He wears Lululemon also.
Yeah, he likes the pants.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting for him to admit that on the show.
Yeah, he likes it. Hey, Jeff, I know you're going to have to go and leave us here soon.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, man, what are your thoughts here on the Skeleton Crew over here on Disney Plus, the Star Wars series?
Oh, man, I am struggling through it, dude.
Dude, it's rough.
am struggling through it. And it's not because I'm bashing it, because it's an 80s Goonies ripoff. Not. Even if I never saw the Goonies, I would still struggle through it. It's just boring. And where are we going with this? It just, I know. I'm sticking with it just because
You're
curious
vested.
to see how it invested in it. Thank you.
Yeah.
But for me to, like, just say I finish it today, and Jimenez asked me, "Oh, should I watch Skeleton Crew?" I'll be, no, I think you'll be fine without seeing it. You know what happened? We're watching. I got one more episode left. Is Squid Games 2.
Oh, I heard that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not as good as the first season, but it's good. It's good. There's a lot more violent though in this season.
Yeah.
But no, and what else? I've just been catching up with the Dragon Ball Daima. I've been seeing that. By the way, everybody, I will be hosting Kawakan this month. In a couple weeks, San Antonio gets invaded by hardcore anime.
Nice.
To be downtown. No, this is like Jimenez. This is like even beyond my level of nerdiness. I mean, these people are hardcore anime fans, so if you see people dress up as anime in a couple weekends, that's what's going on downtown. I am hosting it. It's a 3-day event. I'm excited. A lot of good voice actors be there, from Dragon Ball Z to My Hero Academia. The list goes on and on. So I'll be there. Hopefully everyone can get their tickets to go check it out. And then I'm also hosting the first ever Big Texas Horror Con. Yeah, there's going to be a horror convention in San Antonio this summer. So I'll be talking to the likes of Freddie. Hopefully, what's that? Robert Englund is going to be there. I hope he's going to be there.
I'll
That'd
probably
be a good
see
bucket list.
Nice.
I'll probably see if I can get media credentials for that, Jeff, because you know I'm going to go out there and support you, man.
Robert Englund's Freddie, right?
Yeah, Freddie.
Yeah.
But you got to
Oh,
go to
that's
the
right, yeah.
panels that Jeff hosts. Jeff does a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good job, man.
Hey, real fast.
Yeah.
Before we go, if we could
Go
show
ahead.
if we could show my screen real
Sure.
fast. We were talking about the Lululemon polo, Jeff, and whether or not they have the logo. Here's an example of the polo.
I can't see it.
Okay,
Oh, he
it's
can't.
a men's polo, right? So I'm showing
Yeah.
the model wearing the polo, right? Look at the logo is so tiny. Look how tiny the logo is. So there is the Infinity logo on there, but it's like the size of your pinky fingernail. So
I still see it. I still find it. Nobody knows what that is.
He's like, nah, I'm
So,
good,
you know.
man.
So keep going. I'm sorry,
No.
you were talking about the
Texas Comic Con.
the nerdiness going on this weekend.
Yeah. So there's gonna be that, and of course, Locked On Spurs. You can check it out. A new episode dropped early this morning. We're asking the big question. Maybe Jimenez, you can give your 2 cents in. Did the loss to the Bulls prove that this Spurs team is not even close to be ready yet? Maybe there's been some fans saying, "Oh, they're taking steps." But did that loss to Chicago do we see them take massive steps back, or is that just a one-off game that every team goes through?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
The answer to all that is, and I kind of mentioned this on the show yesterday, was that Spurs fans got mad, not because they blew a 19-point lead. Spurs fans got mad because we had expectations of them winning that game.
Yeah.
We think the Spurs team should beat up on teams that are lesser than.
They don't always do that, though. That's the thing.
I mean, we've beaten the Nuggets. We've on the road. We've beaten Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
We've beaten teams like Golden State. We've beaten good teams.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think Spurs fans look at teams like Chicago, Philadelphia, the Knicks, and go, well, maybe not the Knicks. Knicks are a decent team.
Mhm.
But we look at these teams and go, we should have won those games. Well, I think we lost a game to the Jazz this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we sure did.
There's like 5 or 6 games where we look at that and go, the Spurs are 18-18, but we could have won those games and should have won those games. How many games have the Spurs lost where they were up by 15 points?
Well,
About 5.
3 or 4 games this year?
Well, if we're just looking at their record against sub 500 teams,
Yeah.
they're 11-6, so they're above 500.
Okay, and they should be because we're an average team. We're an
Mhm.
average team. Playing the Bucks tonight, I believe the Bucks are favored by 6 points. The Bucks have lost 4 of the last 6 games. They have an 18-16 record. Spurs are 18-18. So I like how Wemby steps up for superstar matchups. He steps up against a Joker. He steps up against players like that, LeBron or whomever it may be. This game, I think he's going to have a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Stephon Castle, I'm assuming he's back in the starting lineup. I'm assuming he's going to have a good game as well. All eyes are going to be on this game. Spurs are 9-5 this year without Sohan. I think the Spurs win tonight.
Well, we'll see, man. But Jeff, I know we got to let you go because you got things to do.
Yes,
You're a
sir.
busy man. But I just want to say thank you again for coming up on the show. And also, everybody, make sure you go and check out the latest episode of the Locked On Spurs podcast for your daily Spurs content. Jeff, thanks again, man. I appreciate you.
All right, you guys be good.
Later on, brother. Later on.
Later.
Again, follow him at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter, on YouTube as well for the Locked On Spurs podcast. I do on Spotify as well. Let's give some love to MCS General Contracting. You're wearing the gear. They have that Diamond Heart Concrete.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business, you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
I'm a happy customer. Might be calling them back for more business as well because they did a fantastic job when they worked on my sidewalk and they worked on my patio extension and whatnot. So excited about that. Joe, I'm thinking about selling my house. My divorce should be finalized the next month or so. Thinking about selling the house.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking about that the other day when I was thinking, I was like, hey, man, Mike, when you go, that's what I was thinking, hey, when you finalize everything, That's a lot of house for you now, right?
It's 3,000 square feet. I'm by myself.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe if you downsize a little bit, get something nice, of course, you
Mhm.
know, but it's just going to be you, the dogs, you
Right.
know?
Well, what I think I'm going to do is more than likely have a dual residency. That's what it's looking more and more like, you know,
Yeah.
where because my business is here, so I need to be in San Antonio as often as possible because my office is here.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend is out in Conroe, and I might just do. Why not have two places? Why not have two places? You know,
Yeah.
her place and my place, and just kind of do it like
Hey,
that.
well, at least I got a place to stay when I go visit in Houston.
Well, right. I mean, it's very possible that I spend half my time here and half my time there
Yeah.
because, you know, my business is here, but my personal's over there. So it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. No, I got a place to stay anyway. My good friend, Matty B, he lives out there with his girlfriend, Lauren. We call her Lolo.
Yeah.
And she runs one. She's the director, should I say, program director for one of the biggest radio stations they have over in Houston when it comes to country music and all that.
Mhm.
So she's the gal that runs that show out there. So
Yeah.
hey, man, we get the hook. He'll give me the hookup with like any kind of country music concerts and stuff they have out there. So
Right.
I was thinking of go visiting him out here shortly when I have that 3-day weekend coming
Yeah.
up.
So my girl and I are looking at places in San Antonio.
Yeah.
We're looking at places in Conroe. We're looking at places all over the place. And it's one of those things where I need to be in San Antonio frequently because this is where my business is. This is my office is over here.
Yeah.
These are where my clients are. So it's one of those things where I'm tied to San Antonio, but I also have somebody that I want to be with as well. So my normal week is I spend Monday through Thursday in San Antonio. I spend Friday through Sunday in Conroe, and then she flips it the script and she comes over here for the weekend, and we kind of go back and forth. We've done that for 6 months. You know, I'm you know, it's going to be a while to unravel everything. I got to redo my house and all that stuff. So if I go over there, if that's going to be the plan, it's going to be a process. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But
It takes a while. You put the house in the market. You got to sell it. Stays there for a little
I
bit.
got to renovate it and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And
It's a process.
but you know, my business is here. My clients are here in San Antonio, so I can't be like, I can't ever move and not have a San Antonio address residence. You know, that's just basically it. So everyone call me Space City Mike. Well, you know, I got a good looking girl. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Good looking girl. She does
Look,
yoga.
y'all should find a realtor to sponsor the show. There's so many of them.
That's right.
Mike,
Jesse A said Mike is going to start the Area 936 Convo podcast.
Mike is being traded.
Oh no, dude. What can I say, man? Life takes you in different directions, man. You know, about a year and a half ago, I was married in a house that was full of kids, and now I'm alone in a house, and I got a hot girlfriend in the 180 miles away, man. I don't know what to say about life, man. Life comes at you pretty fast, man.
Yeah, gotta adjust. Hey, but you know, we're gonna go ahead and give some love too to Jeff Garcia from the Locked On Spurs podcast. We just had a few words with Jeff. He's a great host, guest host coming out here on the show. So let's give him some love. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. I subscribe on Spotify and on YouTube. Joe, maybe I'll rent the house.
You could do that too, man. It'd be
I got-
residual income.
I got a 2.5% interest.
Residual income, you know, you could use that money.
Maybe just fix it up, rent it out, get some top dollar for it.
They do have a program here in that's you can work with the local let's say government, right? You can work with the government here and you can rent it out to people who are stationed here.
Oh, I heard about
You
that.
know, so basically
They offer you a pretty good chunk.
they do, and the thing is that you don't have to ever worry about the tenants not paying on time because the government is the one that cuts you a check and direct deposits.
Getting that government check.
Getting that government money. That might be a thing. Because you think about it, Mike, you're still in close distance to the air base here.
Mhm.
You know, you're close to 410, 1604. It's not a bad area.
It's not. If you could turn on the chat,
Yeah.
let's see what people are saying right now. Let's see here. Michael be a Rockets fan 2026. F that, dude. Fuck the Rockets.
Oh, they're making fun of you. Chica, chica. They said life comes at you fast. Chica, chica. Yeah, they said, look at that. Hand over fist. Yeah, rent it out. Rent the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not
Well,
going to
part
use
of it's the divorce, man. I got to figure out how much I'm going to get. Do I get all the value of the house? You know, do I have to split it? You know, what's going on with that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's the divorce decree is a dicey situation, you know?
Got to get in touch with my lawyer again, man. This thing's been dragging on for far too long. And I know why it is. I know why it's dragging on for far too long. I'm too nice of a guy.
That and this is what I've heard and what I've experienced with my friends that have gotten, you know, separations or they go through divorces, right? The longer you let this drag out, what happens with the other party is that your ex will talk to other women, right? And they talk to their friends and family and all that. And when things start to set in, they get influenced. They'll be like, oh, well, you got to get this. You got to take him to the cleaners. You got to get this. Get everything you can.
Oh,
You know?
I know. I had that meeting.
It's-
I had that meeting already in arbitration and
It's ridiculous,
mediation.
man.
And I was like, you've got to be out of your effing mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
man.
You know, seriously. And then I look at it this way. You know, I have a girlfriend. She has a boyfriend. You know, I don't understand. Like, well, you know, the responsibilities should go away, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, we're going to put a 30-day extension on this. We're going to put a 60-day extension, 90-day extension on this. I'm like, why? Just get it effing over with, man.
They just want to let it drag out because they drag it out because they get influenced by listening to other people. At the end of the day, the longer this drags out, the more expensive it gets. You know, just get it done. You want closure, man. You're like, let's get it done. Let's get it over with. I'm done with it. We're gonna have to have a party for you, man. Once you're
I already have the bottle. I already have the bottle that I'm
Popping
going to drink
bottles.
the second that it happens, you know?
and then what? I'll get you a cigar.
Because it's interesting because I look, thank you.
I will, a good one.
I will take that. It's interesting how life comes at you because something that I didn't want. And then I find out that there's somebody that you meet that is like better for who you are at this point in life. You know, different seasons of life.
It happens. I mean, life comes at you and it gives you different paths that you can choose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's the road less traveled, right?
Right.
And you're like, hey, this is working out pretty good, just like with you and Chica.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've come a long way compared to, you know, where you got the devastating news until where you're at now.
Oh, you
Totally
remember me when
person.
when I got
yeah,
the news.
Yeah.
You know, when my ex wanted out, I was like, I was a shell
Devastated.
of myself. I was devastated. And now,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like 100% happy.
You're in a better place,
I am.
you know?
And you know, oddly enough, things have gotten better in every other aspect of my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Happened for a reason. Mike.
sometimes you need to get rid of somebody.
Yeah. You son of a bitch. Only you would say that kind of stuff.
Where am I going? Where am I going, Joe? Where am I going? Where am I going, Joe? Where am I going?
Oh,
Where am I going? You saw
Yeah.
you saw me.
Damn it, Mike.
Only I can bring Sohan into my divorce proceedings.
Oh my God. It's like, look at this, man. Everything's greener. The air smells better. The sun is brighter.
I want the grass greener, not the hair of the power forward.
Oh my God.
Joe, you know, if the Spurs win tonight, dude, I'm going to be so insufferable on Twitter.
You know what? You should do
Matt
that.
Matt Lerma, I'm coming after your Twitter space, dude. Dude, if Wemby goes off for 30 and 20 and the Spurs beat the Bucks and he embarrasses Giannis and Stephon Castle has a big game, I'm going to be insufferable.
Can you imagine? Look at Matt Lerma says the Jimenez divorce party we'll do something like out of The Hangover. Where's Mike? Where did we leave him?
Dude, that's happened to me, man.
I know, in Vegas. Remember you told us a story
Yeah.
where you blacked out and you woke up and you're like,
Let me tell, can I tell that story? It's been a while. Okay, so
Tall tale.
So tall tale. By the way, one of the tall tales that I have on there was that I won the. I was one of the members of the champion 3-on-3, 6'2" and under basketball, the NBA All-Star game back in the mid-'90s here at San Antonio. And my friends came and confirmed it for my girlfriend. They're like, "Yeah, that was us. We actually won that, right?" So the tall tale is involving what's it called? Which tall tale we're talking about?
You're talking about the one in Vegas. where you
Oh,
blacked out.
yeah. So it was Super Bowl, and my friends like to go for the Super Bowl, and they like to go for March Madness, and I go one or the other. I think this year I'm going to do March Madness.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, I had all of these winning tickets, Joe. All my prop bets hit. I'm just sitting there with these winning tickets. But we go to this one party at this place called Blondie's, or PBR. They're at Planet Hollywood. We go back and forth to them, and it's like $300. You might be like, why are you going to spend $300 to go to a Super Bowl party? Well, it starts like 2 hours before and it ends 3 hours after the game. So it's 10 hours of being there.
Yeah.
It's all you can eat, all you can drink. You call it whatever you want to have. Snacks, desserts. If you want a burger, if you want a steak, if you want sushi, whatever you want for 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
So you just engorge yourself with stuff, right? Well, 10 hours of drinking, I was drunk off my ass. And I went to go cash in my winning tickets, and the sports book was not open anymore because they said they weren't going to open again until the morning. My friends wanted to go karaoke. You know how drunk I was? I didn't want to karaoke. Okay, I love to karaoke.
Yeah.
I was so drunk I didn't want to do it.
You knew you didn't have the chops for it at that time.
So I said, I'm gonna go play some crap someplace. And I go for a walk. And then I wake up. I remember walking away from my friends.
So you're walking down the main strip?
No. I remember leaving the restaurant and taking 15 steps.
Yeah.
And then I remember nothing.
Wow.
I woke up in a hotel room that wasn't mine. First thing I thought of was there better not be a chick next to me, right? Because, I'm not a cheater.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself in this room. I'm fully clothed, dude. I've got my shoes on. Next thing I look for is my kidney. Is it there? Right? My head is pounding. I'm in a room that I don't even recognize. And I go to the window to see where I'm at, and I'm off strip a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, my wife at the time, is going to be furious because she's going to I'm going to spend a lot of money on a hotel room that I didn't tell her I was going to spend. So I call downstairs. I'm like, where am I? And they're like, you're at the Hooters Hotel. Hooters Hotel, which is now the O's Locos Hotel.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a really nice room. How much was it? And they said, we charge you $69. I was like, okay, well, I can justify that. $69. Okay, cool. And I go and I'm looking around for my stuff, and I remember all my winning tickets. And I look over to the counter, and on the underneath the TV is not only my winning tickets, all of them are there, but a mountain of chips, just like a big old mountain of chips. Like, what the hell is this? I'm looking, it's like $2,000-$3,000 worth of chips.
Yeah.
So I'm like stuffing them in my pockets, going downstairs. I go to the cashier, I cash out, and I go, hey, I'm checking out a room, whatever. Do I need to sign anything? And they're like, no, sir. And I just said, I asked them something, and they all started giggling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, dude, you were on one. Like, you were drunk off your ass over here. We had to get you a room. We actually carried you into that room. We literally walked you and put you on the bed.
God.
And I'm like, well, where'd all the chips come from? They're like, dude, you were on fire playing craps. You were drunk off your ass, just throwing craps and just pressing and all that stuff. And you were falling down, but we would stand you up, and then you'd keep throwing and keep hitting numbers. I don't remember any of this.
You had the hot streak.
And then I was like, what time was this? And they're like, sir, that was an hour ago.
Damn.
So in that power nap that I had, I
sobered you up.
I sobered me up. I go back to the hotel. It's at this point, it's like 8 or 9 in the morning. I go back to the hotel, Planet Hollywood, where my friends are. And they're hanging out at a coffee shop there. Not Starbucks, but it was like some other coffee shop they have there. And I walk up, and they're just clapping, slow clap. Like, where the hell did you go last night? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm about $4,000 richer right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. But I don't remember.
Let it ride.
Mario Cavazos asked the question: who is the boy band member that you said you party with? And I partied with him 4 times. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. 4 times. I partied with Jordan Knight of New Kids on the Block.
So when we do karaoke, because we're gonna have to do this party, right, for the show, because everybody want to do karaoke, right? Once we pass 2000, I want to hear that. Whoa,
Hanging tough.
I want to hear you do the New Kids on the Block, dude. Come on.
So that was interesting. I met Jordan Knight in 2004, and I was a news reporter at KBB, and he and Anthony Pittman, the sports anchor, we went over there because he was performing at a piano bar on Thousand Oaks.
Oh, okay.
Small little piano bar, dude. It was like no bigger than when we go to the hangar over here, or when we go to
Stout
the
House
Stout
or
House.
something small.
He was playing a piano over there.
Yeah.
And the Red Sox had just won the World Series for the first time in 86 years. I think it was 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
And I went and I thought that was an interesting Boston angle because I know NKOTB was from Boston. When I interviewed him, Anthony interviewed him as well. And we struck up a conversation. He goes, "Hey, we're going to be performing tonight. Do you want to come by?" Me and Anthony show up. He takes us backstage. We have some drinks. He does his performance. We go backstage. We drink some more. Next night, he's like, "Hey, you want to hang out tomorrow?" We did it again. Then we did it again the next night.
Damn.
And then a year later, we hung out again.
Yeah.
And then they got back together. The band got back together, and I never heard from him again. That's funny. Mario Cavazos, Mike woke up next to Mike Tyson. Chris
put you in
Gonzalez,
a
they put me in a
luggage
luggage cart. Yeah. Woodrow's Medical has a karaoke room, they said. Do we need to have a karaoke room?
I think so.
How many people would show up to this thing?
I don't know. We should put it out there, dude. If we go ahead and have this party that you boys wanted, because y'all are over here the ones that are saying that you want us to do the karaoke.
Yeah.
Little Woodrow's wouldn't be a bad place, man.
Yeah.
On the medical center, it's near everybody. It's easily accessible. Good parking. I think we found a spot, Mike.
I think so too. Let me see here. I gotta go check the place out.
Yeah, it's a good spot, man. Good spot.
He drank the bar. Jason Garcia says he drank the bar, the whole bar. Dude, I had never been more drunk in my entire life, Joe.
Damn.
And I have photos of me leading up to it all that I do not want to share.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and in fact, I might be wearing the same shirt I'm wearing now. Now that I think about it, it's a Texas State shirt.
Look at that. They're saying the Woodrow's karaoke bars are small.
Yeah. We may need to go to like a
Who's Who or something like that.
I think dude, would people want to go to Who's Who? I like it. I like that place. It's dark, but I like it. And you know that they do karaoke there. It's not one of those things where you go over there and they might have karaoke sometimes. You know that that's what they do for a living over there, right?
Yeah.
It's a karaoke bar. The problem is that some places like Dad's Karaoke, way too crowded. And there's
Look at
like
that.
50 singers.
Matt Lerma says that K Korean, I guess, barbecue place also has karaoke too. He says we can have our own room.
What's the recording aspect of it all? Are we going to allow videotaping of each other while we sing, or is it going to be like a comedy club, or is it going to be like a concert where we're like no cameras?
I don't know, man. I mean, do you really want video of you singing out there trying to struggle through a song? I don't know, man. You see, the thing with me is, I've entertained the idea of karaoke, but I've never actually done it in front of people.
You've never done it?
Not in front of people, right? I might sing over here by myself, but singing in front of people, this would be the first time that I ever did anything like that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm shy. I'm shy, man.
You want to show my screen?
Yeah.
This is me karaokeing in New York City.
God.
Why is there no audio on this? Let's see.
Sam Salinas says no cameras.
This is me.
You wear the white jacket and everything.
was an 80s themed party, so I did a Miami Vice thing.
Yep. You got to do the Bobby Brown dance, though, man. You're going to be singing that song. Look at what they said about you. That's William Hung.
All right, that's enough of that.
Oh my God, William Hung. She bang.
So the last time I karaoke was out in Barbados with the girl, and it was fun, dude. It was fun. I loved going to Barbados with my girlfriend. That was so much fun. Let me see here. Let me see the night here.
No, you go ahead and tell me when.
Yeah, she was like, we were drinking, and she was like, sing Key Sweat.
Oh God. At least it was no Luther Vandross, bro. It's hard to sing Luther, man.
It was this night. She was like, sing Key Sweat. I was like, I want your body.
Oh God.
Till the very last drop. I want you to holler.
Oh no, show. Just gonna say show the bowling video. That was hilarious.
Oh, the
dude.
bowling video. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she was. She just threw the heck out of that ball. we may or may not have been drunk. Me picking up the spare. I may or may not have been drunk here. Oh, so this is why I'm talking drunk. Wearing my Lululemon polo shirt and trunks. Picking up the spare, drunk off my ass. She keeps on saying, damn.
Oh, there's good times, good times.
Why do I look like Mario Cavazos? Why do I look like a tattoo?
I didn't even think about that.
Dude, that blazer, I probably weighed about 18 pounds more than I do now.
Oh,
when I was in that video. I told you I gained 6 pounds during the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's time frame.
Yeah.
Now it's just 4. I've lost 2 of those 6 already, Joe.
There you go. You lost the tamale weight.
I don't know, man. I lost the turkey weight. I'm making my way to the tamale weight, dude.
That tamale weight's no joke, dude. What are the calorie intake in just one tamale, dude?
Oh, dude, I've never looked at it.
I bet you it's off the chart, bro. Like one tamale is like 1,000 calories or something, dude. It has to be.
Okay, so a pork tamale from HEB, the Mi Tienda.
Yeah.
$2.90
just for one?
For one tamale.
Ooh,
and you know you're eating
bro.
3. You know you're eating 3 or 4. That's like $1,200. Dude, 4 tamales is the same as a Big Mac and fries.
Exactly, Whataburger, you know.
And you're not gonna have it just tamales themselves, dude. You're gonna have that with tortillas.
Yeah.
You have some rice and beans,
something to drink. Damn.
That's why we're fat in San Antonio, man.
And you're gonna probably eat it with the tortilla.
Yeah.
Rice and beans, God, bro.
And a couple of beers and a Big Red.
Jeez. Can you imagine the Big Red alone? Damn.
People ask me if I've seen Genuine. No, and I won't sing Pony either. Genuine was good back in the day, but I know. Ride that pony. Hey,
this is a good idea here, Matt Gomez. We're having a meetup during Nyosa. I ain't opposed to it.
Dude, fuck Fiesta, dude. I mean,
I like Nyosa.
Come on, man.
Nyosa's a nice place to go. You know, you get to have all this different food. They got some music, and it's not Tejano.
No, I know, but it's Nyosa, dude. It's just a bunch of people just packed into a place drinking $12 beer. There's no bigger waste of money than Fiesta.
You can go to Market Square. It used to be free, but I don't know about now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, and then potentially get shot like last year when there was that shooting out there.
How is that any different from being over here by Marbach.
And I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm about Taste of the Northside, because Taste of the Northside's not a Fiesta event, dude. That's $300 to go eat food. No.
I want to go to that Taste of the Northside. I think I'm going to go with Jeff this year.
Heights night over at Incarnate Word. That's all right.
Incarnate Word's small, though, dude.
It is small. And then it's also weather permitting.
Yeah.
Oyster Bake is ghetto.
That's all right, dude. You're 1-0 in Oyster Bake.
Oyster Bake fights, dude.
Hey, you know what? I think we should go to the Taste of the Northside. We'll take Hefe with us.
That's $300.
But it's free food and free drink.
It's
dude.
$300. It's free.
But I'm saying once you pay for your ticket, it includes that. It's good food, Mike.
Leha saying Mike says F Fiesta because he knows he'd get his ass bested. 1-0 record having ass. 1-0, baby. 1-0.
No, Esa and Fiesta is my birthday time. It's just saying, let's party. All right, man. Well, we're going to have to start bringing the show to a close here.
Spurs Bucks tonight. No Jeremy Sohan. Spurs are 9-5 without Jeremy Sohan. You know what that means? Bet the farm. Vegas has the Bucks still favored to win this game. Bucks here by 5.5 points. Spreads moved. It was 6 originally. Now it's 5.5. Money's going towards the Spurs. Tip-off, 8:30, nationally televised on ESPN, the 4-letter network. We'll be back tomorrow. Go Spurs, go. Thank you to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. And again, if you want to sponsor this show, by the way, you can reach out to Joe Garcia on Twitter at 21 area. What's it? At
Area 210.
At Area 210. Reach out to us if you'd like to sponsor the show, and reach out to me, by the way, 210-508-0369. If you have any financial questions regarding investments, retirement plans, life insurance, disability. I've been doing this for 20 years, man. 20-year anniversary coming up in April of this year. 210-508-0369. I've had a very, very successful 3 or 4 year run since I restarted my practice. But I've been in the industry for 20 years, but I restarted my own financial practice back in the COVID years. 210-508-0369. Looking forward to the Spurs tonight, Joe. 8:30 tip-off. We're going to be staying up till about at least 11. I'll stay up.
Yeah.
And I'll be insufferable during the Spurs Twitter space that Matt Lerma hosts after the game.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if they win.
Sorry for tying in my divorce to Sohan leaving, but it is what it is. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Go Spurs, go.